And I prefer to tell you the truth. Everyone is free to take or leave.
Ibrahim Traore has exposed African politicians.
Comrades, fighters for freedom, sovereignty, and real independence.
More so, he has exposed all the corrupt and puppets politicians. Now, he has gained a lot of massive support from everyone across the country. Or across the Africa. He has gained a lot of support from Black Americans, Jamaicans, and all the people, all the Black people. Every leader who wants, or every person who wants the change in Africa, who wants the liberation of Africa, he is in support of Ibrahim Traore. But we can tell from the looks, the talks, the works of other politicians that they don't love what Ibrahim Traore is doing because he has exposed them so bad. Now, these are the questions that we are going to tackle today. How, or this is the question that I am going to tackle today. How has Ibrahim Traore exposed African politicians? Make sure you subscribe on this YouTube channel, okay? Ibrahim Traore has been fighting corruption as a priority. He has been fighting corruption. It is his priority to fight corruption. It is his number one agenda to fight corruption. When he talks, he says that corruption is the main key why the past government have not been doing good. So corruption, it is in the A list of Ibrahim Traore. He is winning the battle. He is winning the battle. But a lot of African politicians are exposed because they have failed terribly to fight corruption. They have failed terribly to talk about corruption, leave alone fighting. Even talking about corruption, they don't want to talk about corruption simply because they are the key suspects of corrupt. They are the key suspect in that circle of corruption, so they cannot fight corruption. So Ibrahim Traore has opened our eyes as the people of Africa, as the Africans. He has opened our eyes to see that fighting corruption is easy, it's manageable, and you can achieve it. But our leaders who have been there, they were saying, we are fighting, we will do this, we will end corruption. But 5 years, 10 years, the country goes into deep shit of corruption. When Nana Akufo ascended power, he said he gonna fight corruption in the government of John Mahama, who was there from 2017 or from 2013 to 2017. Nana Akufo said he gonna fight corruption and raise the economy of Ghana. But year 2025, now he's descending power. The country has been left into deep problem of economy due to high level of corruption. When William Ruto came to power, he said that the past government was corrupt and he's coming here to shape things. He's gonna clear these waves. Now it is 2 to 3 years in the seat. He is the most corrupt leader right now in the world. Most corrupt leader. Ibrahim Traore has been there for only the same year as William Ruto. He has done things that Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has been in the seat for more than 35 years or 30 years, has never achieved. So this expose of corruption, to fight corruption, is the worst I've seen. Your leaders are so corrupt here, but these things is manageable. Now, Traore, on the other hand, has emphasized the importance of addressing corruption to build a fair and more prosperous Burkina Faso. By exposing corrupt leaders, he demonstrated a commitment to accountability and transparency, aligning with his vision of government that serves the people rather than enriching elites. A lot of African leaders, they think of enriching themselves. They don't work for the people. They don't have a vision for a country. They have their own vision, and their vision is to become the richest president in the world. That's their vision, and that's why they fight every day to steal, to grab, to get handouts from foreign countries. It is bad. It is so bad. Ibrahim Traore has exposed them all. We now know that we can get agriculture instruments, or we can get agriculture equipments without getting them from foreign countries, or without getting AIDS money, or without being brought here by some foreign leaders. We know that now. Another thing, Ibrahim Traore is on the front line to advocate for sovereignty. Traore has been vocal about the need of African nations to reclaim their sovereignty, particularly from the lingering effects of neo-colonialism. He sees corruption as a tool that perpetuates dependency on foreign powers and undermines Africa's potential for self-reliance. Exposing corrupt leaders highlights how some African elites collaborate with external interests to the detriment of their nations. He has exposed leaders who work with the foreign powers. He has exposed leaders who don't want sovereignty. He has exposed leaders who are the puppets to the West countries. He has exposed leaders who receive handouts. Corruption is the main key that lead to a country not to lead in sovereignty in a country. When we deal with corruption, country will become free. Now, a lot of African leaders are exposed. I can mention the names. Let me just mention by country. President from Nigeria, exposed. President from Kenya, exposed. Outgoing president from Ghana was exposed. President from Uganda, exposed. Rwanda president, exposed. Ramaphosa, South Africa, exposed. They are depending more on foreign powers. And this dependency does not help the people of the nation. This dependency helps their pockets. This is the biggest expose from Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore has showed us that we can gain sovereignty of a country. We can do without depending on external forces. We can do without depending on IMF. We can do without depending on World Bank. We can do without depending on the colonizers. But our leaders, every day they were telling us, we cannot do this without France. We cannot do this without USA. We cannot do this without China. We cannot do this without this. We cannot do this without this country. It is not like that. They are being paid to sell the country. They are being paid to be the puppets. They are being paid so that neo-colonialism will continue in our African countries. They are receiving tokens, and that they have been exposed, and that's why they are worried. They are scared of Ibrahim Traore. They don't want him to be in power. They put sanctions saying that you gain this power through coup. If you don't come to ECOWAS, we will... Yeah, they are in trouble simply because Ibrahim Traore is exposing their ways. Now, Ibrahim Traore is setting an example that a lot of leaders have failed to set. For example, by calling out corruption, Traore positioned himself as a leader who prioritized the need of ordinary citizens over personal or political gain. This approach has resonated with many young Africans who see him as a symbol of hope and new wave of leadership on the continent. All the leaders or the politicians who are corrupt and puppets, they will not want ordinary politicians to be above them. They are fighting for their political gain. They are fighting for their political influence. They are fighting for their gains of their families and friends. But Ibrahim Traore have set an example that he gonna fight for ordinary citizen. And this has made him to be popular among African countries. In Ghana, very popular. In Kenya, very, very popular. Eritrea, I saw everyone very popular. In Nigeria, very popular. He is setting an example which is making these other political leaders to be scared. So he is exposing their ways. You can be a president and work for the people. You can be a president and be as ordinary and put the ordinary life of a person in front. This is an expose. Another African politicians, they fail to set these examples. Ibrahim Traore has gained popular support and youth sovereignty because Traore has been vocal about the need of African nation to reclaim their sovereignty, particularly from the engineering effect of neocolonization. Okay, we talked about that. That is sovereignty. Another thing we talked about was popular support of youth mobilization. Traore's criticism of corrupt leadership appealed to the frustration of many Africans, especially the youths who are illusionized with governments that fail to address poverty, inequality, and employment. His rhetoric aligns with growing demands for justice and reform across Africa. And this has exposed a lot of African leaders who don't talk about inequality, who don't talk about unemployment issues, who don't address poverty. But Ibrahim Traore is addressing this issue, and this is making these other politicians, it's making them look bad. They are losing their fame. They are losing their popularity. You could see when Ibrahim Traore was introduced or was announced in the inauguration of John Mahama, how people received him. Even John Mahama said it himself. And you could see how William Ruto was received. These are two politicians. One is the most hardworking politician, and one is the most corrupt politician in the same podium. So, youths and the people and Africans, they have know what these leaders are lacking. These politicians, they don't talk about poverty. And we have seen there is someone here, there is a president who can address these issues, who can go for these issues. And that is Ibrahim Traore. And he has exposed them badly. He has. And it has made them to lose their popularity. Now, Ibrahim Traore has courage in leadership. And a lot of African politicians who have been there, they don't have this courage, more so facing foreign countries. But Traore's willingness to name the shame corrupt leaders reflect his bold approach to governance. This transparency challenged the culture of impunity that has long protected influential figures across Africa. Now, you may see a lot of African leaders are when they come there, they take that mic, they say who and who, so and so is very good leader, he's doing good job, but he knows that man is corrupt. He associates with him. They know who are the corrupt people. They know who are the corrupt leaders. They know who are stealing votes. They know who are against the people. They know who are killing people. They know who are doing this, but they cannot talk. They don't have that courage of leadership. But Ibrahim Traore has the courage to face corrupt leaders, has the courage to face the people who don't want the liberation of Africa and tell them on their face, whether you are happy or not, we're going to make this thing clear. You need to change your ways. That is the problem. Leaders, African politicians, they don't have the courage. They protect influential figures across Africa. They protect the name of some leaders. They're going to come here and say this guy is good. And yet they know that person is not good. Critics from international involvement. Now, Traore often connects corruption to the influence of foreign powers in Africa, accusing some leaders of enabling exploitation of resources and wealth for personal benefit. By exposing these dynamics, he strengthens his anti-imperialist narrative, emphasizing the need of African unity and independence. Now, he has exposed these African politicians who don't criticize the foreign powers. And these leaders knows that corruption in the country is so bad simply because there is an intruder who is eating this way. There is an intruder who is exploiting us, but they cannot talk. They cannot say anything. One, because they are given token. Two, because they don't have courage. Three, because they are corrupt themselves. But Ibrahim Traore is talking about this issue, talking against imperialism, neocolonialism, foreign interference, and all these things. And this is a bigger expose to these leaders. Sometimes I thought that a leader cannot stand here and say no to France and say no to USA. But Traore has said that, and he has shown us it is possible. And we are asking ourselves, why are these other leaders never did something like that? Why? What was the fear? It's because they were corrupt, because they received some tokens, don't have courage, they have been exposed. And that's why when I started the video, I said African politicians have been exposed badly. Because if you don't do this something for us, we'll tell you, why is Traore doing it? And this country has a lot of insecurity, a lot of terrorism, a lot of coup attempts. But your country, you have peace. A country like Tanzania, you have peace. Kenya, you have peace. You have peace in these countries. Why don't you make your people rich? Why don't you build the infrastructure? Why don't you build schools? Why don't you venture into agriculture? Why don't you venture into technology? What is hindering you from doing these things? If that he can do without the hands of the foreign or former colonial power, why is yours hard? You are fooling us as a leader. You have been exposed. Come out of that thing. Do what's supposed to be done because it is capable. Everything it is capable because Traore has done it again and he is doing it. So it is possible. Tell me what you think in the comment section about this video. Do you think African politicians are exposed? Until next episode, peace be with you.